Let it fly. Thanks for joining Let It Fly Disc Golf, and in this video I'm going to show you how to throw 300 feet with a specific technique that everybody should be doing. Stay tuned.
Let it fly into the sky, let it glow into the night, let it take flight, just slip away, it'll let you
Okay, so
find
just
your
really
way.
quick, I was in a tournament a couple days ago, and it was 3 rounds. First 2 rounds was okay. I was throwing pretty decent, but it felt like I was throwing with a lot of effort. And I know that I'm throwing wrong if I'm throwing with a lot of effort. So on the 3rd round, I adjusted my throw and went back to a technique that me and my brother Sal have been doing for over 10 years. It took me a little while to actually get. For him, he's been doing it for so long, it was kind of hard for him to explain it to me. There are some people out there that are just slowly coming out with the same type of technique. You probably heard me say it in one of our videos called the Torres Method, and not to try to say that we took it, but it was something that was shown to me about 6 or 7 years ago, and I've used it pretty much my entire time. Every once in a while I'll get away from it, but I really believe that it's a true way of throwing. And so we'll talk about some feels versus reels, and I think the reason why I think that it works so well. So there are a couple things, little caveats as far as this. You do have to have some decent mechanics. So if you're rounding, this is gonna cause some issues, but then again, this technique might actually help you with that rounding issue. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. All right, so we'll just go ahead and get into it. No like backstories and all this other stuff. Let's just start. All right, so what you wanna do is, just from a standstill position, we want to make sure that we're putting our disc on the outside of our body. Okay, so set up a camera behind you, set up a little link here to show you how to record yourself. A lot of cool techniques and stuff like that, some apps and stuff like that that we use to record yourself and then get some feedback. But we do not want to be rounding, because this technique is not going to help with that. What we want to do is we want to put the disc on the outside of us. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep the disc out like this. Now, if you're throwing, after I show you this technique, if you're throwing like this, that's not what we're trying to accomplish, okay? What we're trying to accomplish is something like this. If I put my hand here and I'm putting pressure on the backside of the disc to let it go forward, when I let go, it goes forward, okay? So that is kind of the same thing what we're trying to accomplish here. My arm, I'm not trying to push with my arm, okay? There was somebody that was asking about in the comments, like, do you push from out here and here? I don't do that, okay? I think the thing is that we're moving so quickly, it's hard to like go 70 miles an hour here and then push even further. So what I like to do is just basically allow the disc to go for the ride, okay? The reaction of the disc is based on my setup and how I'm throwing with my body. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to put our disc out here, rotate without collapsing, okay? So there's a couple techniques as far as the non-collapsing, right? Put your elbow out, and then this way it feels like it's locked in. So when I go to reach out and I go to throw, I feel my back muscles stretching. If you don't feel that, it's probably because you're relaxing, and then you're throwing with this. You're throwing with just all arm, okay, or just even full rotation. So I'm a little bit protracted, right? Elbow up, disc is out here. Now, as I start to rotate, I'm not collapsing, but I'm trying to keep the disc out here. If there is a medium type of tension that you need to maintain. One, we're not so stiff that the disc doesn't leave this line like this, okay? This is something that's gonna happen automatically based on your tensions, how loose you are, how stiff you are, that kind of stuff, okay? What's gonna happen is, as I'm trying to pull like this, the rotations, and I'm trying to keep my arm straight, but the force allows the disc to come in by itself, okay? And then what ends up happening is when I get to my hit and I'm slowing down a little bit, my arm is just gonna go whoosh, okay, by itself. When I do this, what I am feeling is I feel like my disc is staying out the entire time. Boom. It may like deviate a little bit, but what is really happening is when I throw that and I feel like I'm dragging it out like this, what actually ends up happening is as I start to rotate, the force brings in my disc almost to some extent pretty close to my body. And as I go to stop, the disc goes forward, and then make sure we're keeping our hand closed so that this way we feel that release. Now, the feeling feels like I'm keeping it out like this the entire time. But the reality of it is that the rotations of this, the force, all this stuff is allowing the disc to come in and then go out. It is a very weird technique, but it works very, very fantastic. I think what it's doing is it puts a lot more rotations on the disc when you're just leaving the disc and letting it go for the ride, keeping that out. And it's kind of like the trebuchet, right, where the thing goes down, this goes up, and then the arm follows and then flings it out. I think they even make like insoles for like athletes that allow them to jump a little higher, right? Now, whether or not that's true technology or not, I have no idea. But the premise of that is that they're kind of stiff, that whenever you force it, it goes back into its relaxed state. So same thing there. We're going here, throwing, and going like this. Now, the reason why I like this method is because it doesn't deviate the actual angle of my disc. I am throwing with hyzer or anhyzer or whatever like that, but when I throw like this, the disc stays where it needs to, and then once it gets to the hit, it comes out. Whereas if I pull the disc in, right now I can do it, but most of the time the disc will come up for me. Sometimes the elbow drops, that kind of stuff. So in this case, when you're doing this, it's hard to drop your elbow and throw like this, right? Because all we're doing is we're protracting, we're keeping the arm out, we're trying to let the disc fly out like this. It's not gonna look like that when you record yourself, but let me know in the comments if it feels like that. Now, a couple other caveats here. When you practice this technique, you're probably gonna find out that you're releasing late because it feels like you're throwing like this. You need to really focus on getting to the hit and stopping the body, stopping all this left side, boom, so that this way the disc is able to come out. The other thing you can do is choose a line on an actual T-pad. And so when you go for your reach back, put the disc, from my vision, the disc is on the line. Now, as I start to throw, I'm still keeping my eye on the disc, and then boom. Now, in reality, like I said, the disc is gonna come in automatically. Now, what I would say is record yourself. If it feels like it's loose to the point where it comes all the way in and comes out, and you go, it didn't feel like I kept the disc out like this, right? It didn't feel like it kept it away from my body the entire time, then you're probably too loose. Be a little bit more stiffer with the arm and try to really, like when I get to here like that, my back muscles are stretched. So if you're not feeling that, it's probably because of the fact that you're either too relaxed or you're coming through way too fast. This is the reason why we, in the beginning of the videos, the turtle and all this stuff, slow is smooth and smooth is far, right? If I go to throw and I move this slow with the same technique, the disc is gonna go fairly far, okay? Now, the cool thing is that slowly but surely I can ramp that up with a decent pace and get a better result. Let's do a couple throws. I believe Blitz DG talked about this in one of his videos, but he went through it very kind of quickly. It is a technique that allows people to feel that whipping motion. But I think if you can get this down, I think Matty O does it probably the best out of anybody. Mason Ford kind of does it where he keeps the disc out pretty wide from his body, but I believe Matty O does it almost perfection. Even though he pulls a little high and it comes through, but he still allows the disc to stay away from his body. All right, not too hard, and just let it fly. That right there, and I mean, we have a little bit of headwind. Of course, the basket's a little bit left that way, but that right there, I felt slow enough to the point where my back was stretching, and I knew that I was getting in the right position to go there. Let's see if I can slow-mo it so we can see it from that angle to see if it comes in. Even though that shot right there felt like I threw it like this. Let's try to put this a little hyzer and see what we get. Other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Come back for more content, and we'll keep it going. Let me know down in the comments what other things that you want to see, maybe upshots, forehands, other stuff like that, and we'll get that stuff out to you. We do have some other content coming out, so make sure you stay around. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you like this technique, if it works for you. But other than that, get on the field, keep up the good work, let it fly. Peace.
Let it fly into the sky.